Hubbardston. Welcome to the video Citizen's Guide to Town Meeting, where I will be explaining what is going on and what is going to be on the annual town meeting warrant for the 2024 annual town meeting on June 4th at 7 p.m. at the Hubbardston Center School. My name is Nate Boudreau, and I have the honor and privilege of serving as town administrator here in Hubbardston. This will be my second town meeting with you guys, and I am very eager and excited for it. While we go through the warrant, there will be times where either an explanation or the warrant article itself pop up on the screen. Feel free to pause the video or go to the annual town meeting webpage on the Hubbardston website to learn more, read more. There is also going to be a written version of the Citizen's Guide to Annual Town Meeting published at the same time as this video. So thank you for your engagement. A community that can communicate really well is a community that is going to work together, and I really value communications and transparency, and I've seen some positive results during my time here in Hubbardston. But let's begin. The first 6 articles are what we call the consent agenda. They are articles that are assumed to be unconfrontational annual articles that we pass in one foul swoop. The moderator will ask for a motion to do a consent agenda, and then if that passes, they will pass, and we will pass all 6 articles in one. The first article is to choose all necessary officers. This is a pro forma or regular article that accepts the annual town election results. Since the annual town election is after the town meeting, it's a little odd here in Hubbardston, and then to hear the reports of town officers and committees. The only report I believe that will be coming out this year during this section is a report from the select board on the first annual Citizen of the Year. That's something we just started doing, and I'm really looking forward to naming our first Citizen of the Year. Article 3 is to authorize the Select Board to enter into agreements with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Department of Transportation for construction and maintenance of public highways for FY25. This is getting rid of the red tape so that the Mass Department of Transportation can do work in Hubbardston without having to go through all of this paperwork and authorization. They still obviously let us know, but we want them to come, we want them to do work, and we want their assistance, so we want to make that as easy as possible. Article 4 is to see if the town will accept educational grants for FY25. This is very similar, but so that Monty Tech and the Quabbin Regional School District can accept funding grants from the state and other levels without having to go through each town, creating unnecessary red tape and making it easier for the school to just accept them. Article 5 is to see if the town will vote to authorize the continuation of the Holden Hospital Fund. In 1990, when the Holden Hospital closed, the Holden State Hospital, the trust fund was established to continue helping the communities with different funding needs. So far we've used it for health type needs, for emergency medical response needs, and that is what we as a town utilize this money for most right now, is additional ambulance funds. Article 6, to see if the town will vote to fix the maximum amount to be spent during any fiscal year beginning in FY25 for the revolving funds. Basically what this does is the revolving funds can make as much money as they are going to make depending on the service that they are providing or the license that they are giving out. This allows town meeting to set a certain spending limit, saying, oh, no matter how much money is made by X revolving account, they cannot spend more than Y in any fiscal year. This is Conservation Commission with $3,000, the Temporary Driveway Permit Fund with $2,500, the Grave Fund at $10,000. Remember, these are all a cap. So the Hubbardston Special Events Fund at $50,000, the Late Fee Dog License Fund at $10,000, the Mart Transportation Management Fund at $35,000, the Open Burn Pit Fund at $11,000, the Planning Board Fund at $20,000, the Recycling Fund at $5,000, the Septic Fund at $20,000, and the Board of Health Fund at $20,000. Again, these are all caps. So this does not mean that any of these entities will surely spend that much money. This is an amount that they are allowed to spend with town meeting's approval. Moving on. Article 7 is the FY25 budget. This has its own complete public hearing and video available on the town's YouTube page and on the town website that I suggest checking out. The budget is approved in subsections, grand totaling $4,353,454. That is a minimal increase to our town services. This is not the school, this is town services. This is your town hall, your police and fire. So that's that. The general government, $688,908. Public safety, $154,722. Public works, $905,481. Human services, which is the Senior Center and Veterans Affairs at $31,454. Culture and Recreation at $92,544. Debt at $146,862. Indirect costs like insurances and benefits and unemployment, that type of cost at $933,442. As I stated, totaling $4,353,454. This is the budget for the town, and again, if you want to see a riveting hour-long presentation on the budget in its entirety, I will make sure that that link is available on the same page as this. Article 8 is the Montechusett Regional Vocational Technical School District Assessment. This is approving the assessment for Monty Tech. This year we're very fortunate that it has gone down approximately $90,000. Article 9 is to see if the town will raise and appropriate the funds for the Quabbin Regional School District assessment, grand totaling $6,343,869. Between now and town meeting, this may change. This equates to a 9% increase over that of last year, and the most recent budget from the school administration is a 9.46% increase over last year, which would mean we would have to move around an additional $26,000. That's something I am working on right now, and I hope to have figured out by the time the town meeting warrant is finalized on May 20th. Article 9 is to raise and appropriate monies for the Quabbin Regional School District debt assessment. That is $56,318, and my apologies, that is Article 10, is $56,318 for Hubbardston's share of the Quabbin Regional School District debt paid by all of the member towns. Article 11 is to see if the town will vote to appropriate the sum of $30,000 for the salaries, benefits, committee stipends, and other operating expenses for the Hubbardston Cable Advisory Committee. The Hubbardston Cable Advisory Committee and our vendors work tirelessly to make sure that we get to bring quality content like this to your homes onto YouTube, and they are a big tool that we use in our communications efforts. This $30,000 pays for that. This is not tax funded. This is funded by a fee on your Spectrum bill. So that's a fairly regular portion of the annual town meeting warrant. That is $30,000 this year. Article 12 is our capital improvements budget. It is $235 from free cash to pay for the following: a Gas Boy fuel pump system, which is a fuel management and accounting system that helps the town manage who's using what for fuels and how much to break it down and what line items to take it out of. Additional road repair for $100,000. That allows our DPW to do a lot of the patchwork and do a lot of the summertime work that everyone really appreciates. So this is our third or fourth year putting an additional $100,000 in on top of Chapter 90 and other funds. A heat pump grant match. There is a $280,000 grant project going on with green energy. 180, my apologies. There's a $180,000 grant project going on involving green upgrades at both Hubbardston Center School and at the public library. This is the town's match of that, $12,000. A John Deere Z920M mower for the DPW at $9,000. A vault organization and management project for the town clerk's vault at $10,000. A police cruiser for $87,000. Town office IT replacements for $20,000. This is an annual request, and the only amount of monies we do use on actual hardware. This year we purchased a storage system, a cloud-based storage system, and breathing apparatus replacements for the fire department. This is $20,000. That will be a standing article as well, because we're going to have to pay approximately $100,000 in breathing apparatus replacement fees in the next 5 years. So I figured it would be a little easier on the capital budget to do it $20,000 per year versus $1,000 in one fell swoop at a later date. Article 13 would provide $15,000 to establish overnight on-call pay stipend programs for the fire department. We want to incentivize the on-call firefighters and full-time firefighters to work, and EMTs to work the overnight shifts, bringing back some revenue into the town. There is a good chance this will be a net zero item, because it is my hope and the chief's hope that the increase in coverage will create an increase in revenue, and it will be a positive first step towards potential overnight coverage. If you have any questions, feel free to contact myself or Chief Hayes anytime during normal business hours. Article 14 is to see if the town will vote to transfer $50,000 from free cash to general stabilization. This is our rainy day account. The financial policies have us aiming to have 5% of the operating budget, which we are hitting our goals right now. This would be $50,000 away for a rainy day. Article 15 is to transfer the sum of $25,000 into capital stabilization, which is another rainy day account for capital items. This is $25,000, which we would put away for capital items on a rainy day or something to save for. And the goal in this case is to put away 1% of our annual operating budget, which we do have at this time. Article 16 is to see if the town will vote to appropriate $65,000 from the capital stabilization account to complete funding for the purchase of a new boiler at the Hubbardston Center School. And I know what you're saying, but Nate, we funded the Hubbardston Center School boiler last year at annual town meeting. So unfortunately, the bids came in significantly higher than the $50,000 that we anticipated last year, and the current bid that we're working on, and I hope that we can continue with, is $115,000. We are also exploring other avenues for this money, such as grants and the state Senate budget, but we will see how that goes. If this is pulled from the warrant, it is due to the fact that we found funding elsewhere, but we had to put it there just in case none of those other roads led to funding. Article 17 is to see if the town will authorize the select board to enter into a lease agreement with Pitney Bowes for a mail machine. The town is operating in not best practice regarding our mail, so I went ahead and looked for mail machine opportunities, and this was the one we were able to find. It is a 5-year lease, which means it needs town meeting approval. The select board can approve things that are lower than that, 3-4 years, but for a 5-year lease, to get the most bang for our buck and the most financially savvy terms, we had to go a full 5 years. The next 3 articles are Community Preservation Act articles, and they can also be found on the town website being explained by the Community Preservation Committee. So I'm going to skip those. Article 21 is a general bylaw article that takes the composition of the Community Preservation Act Committee and replaces the member of the non-existent Hubbardston Housing Authority with a member appointed by the Select Board with housing experience. Think real estate appraisers and generally someone with housing experience. Article 22 establishes a comprehensive new zoning bylaw to regulate the permitting, construction, and operation of battery energy storage systems, facilities within Hubbardston. These utility-scale projects that store and discharge electrical energy are new technology the town wishes to allow, but ensure they are designed and operated in a safe manner with proper safeguards. The bylaw categorizes best facilities into 3 tiers based on their storage capacity and characteristics. It then sets detailed regulations and requirements that certain tier projects must meet through special permitting process. To learn more about this, the planning board had done a whole public hearing and review at their meeting, which I will ensure is on the webpage with this documentation. And that brings us to the end of our warrant. I hope that you all have questions, and I hope to see you at town meeting. Again, thank you for your engagement, and thank you for taking the time to watch this Citizen's Guide to the 2024 Annual Town Meeting. Thank you.